The Red Devil. You know, after the time change, springing forward, I actually got more stuff done than when I do probably when we fall back. But that is another story. The Red Devil. I finished it last night. Uh, Last I left off, what I did was got all the decals on. Went to the craft store and actually had to go get some vinyl lettering. And I had to get half inch, quarter inch wide. And I did get the WT on there on both sides of the fins. I did get the airplane number on, which is 13. Got that on the wing there, and of course the front of the fuselage. And after I got all in, and the best way you can actually burnish these down, or you can put them on, and they're not the greatest tackiness. So what I usually do is I burnish them on with a blunt, basically I want to say a pencil, but just say a blunt pencil, and then I'll take a sealer like Toucher's Dull Coat or Krylon Crystal Clear, and I'll spray a good coat on there, and that puts them on for an extremely long period of time and they won't come off. So that's what I did on the vinyls. And last night went ahead and crystal cleared everything, just put a sealer on the top, and when I get done with this video I'm going to flip it over and do the bottom. But I did get the canopy mask off. I got a few areas of a little bit of touch up. Maybe if you can see the cockpit in there. Try my little finger. Decals, everything dry brush painted and ready to rock and roll. Really a great model. All I did after that was went ahead and stained the base, which is a red mahogany, and all I gotta do is clear coat the bottom and I will be done. And this will probably be the last time you all will see the Red Devil, because after I get it off the base and sprayed, and then I'm gonna wait a couple days for it to truly dry, and then I wrap it up and ship it off to the owner of the Red Devil. Really great kit. It's really fun to do and should make a nice addition for wherever it's going to be displayed. On to the X-Wing. I actually finished it too. Went ahead and painted the base, and I went in and airbrushed some shadows, did a little bit dry brushing, touched up the black on the base. Joey, I left the battery cord real long, so you know, if you ever want it short, you can just whack it off and cut you the red and black, make it short if you want. Went ahead in with a pencil, and I don't know if you can hopefully see it, but I did add the detail to it, and I just added just random squares and everywhere just to make it somewhat believable. I mean, you're trying to find, you know, follow a painting, which, you know, it's probably changed when he painted it. And I add some in the back here. Add a little bit in the cockpit area, and just a few other little places. It's really a fun model, and I went ahead and not really weathered, but airbrushed the laser cannons, and I darkened up the ends of the laser cannons, so Joe, you'll be able to glue them on and be ready to rock and roll. And I did that on all 4 of those. Hopefully you can maybe see them a little darker. There's a little bit of the metal is going to show through, which I don't want to add any more paint. If I do, I'll probably screw it up. Plus it gives, I think, a little more realistic look to it. But I think the X-Wing turned out great, and I don't know if I can get my little battery here, see if I can do it one-handed. Probably not. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go. And she works. They always look good on screen. So for daylight savings time, I finished the Red Devil, I finished the ma.k X-Wing, and I started the B2. And right now it's just really sitting and drying. I actually got the wings on. As you can tell, there's a big gap here, and I could not, for my life of me, get it to fit flush, so I just went ahead and just glued it. And I'll just reinforce it, and then I'll fill in the gaps either with some putty and just sand it. But that's about the only really drawback of the kit's the gaps on it, but it's no big deal. A little putty and it takes care of it. So that's where I stand on the B2, which you'll see more of that as the week progresses. The David, I went back in with the airbrush, and I don't know if you can actually see the darker lines. I just did some shading, trying to keep it fairly light and moderate. I went in with some washes and some filters and did the inside of a brown color, basically to simulate the wood, and then started dry brushing the boiler and the coal in there and just some random stuff. So a little bit more on that, and I will be done with the David, and I can put it on the base and get photographs to flagshipmodels.com. And speaking of that, I started the Jackson. I got most of the flash cleaned off. I got to go back in and sand it down just a little bit more, and then take a Dremel and just clean up the edges all the way around it, and that's all I got to do on that. But I did get the both holes mounted, and really all there is to it, it's just doing a little cleanup here, and then once I get that cleaned up, then I'll start adding the parts on. But that's already a very fun model, and a heavy model at that. So I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait to paint it like I am on the David. So I am looking forward to that. And if you don't notice my little B2 here, I was inspired. I have a line of kits of my own that I like to do original designs, and they are from the SF99. It's a cross between ma.k and Junk Tank Rock. And I did a hover bike called the Spectre, and I did a hover tank, and there's also another hover tank. And this is a series that I do, that I get to do original designs of my stuff, and I do get to pedal them. These are empty boxes because I sold them at shows because people didn't want them at one of the boxes, but gives you a general idea of what I build for future kits. They are available at radhairproductions.com when I do have them. The Spectre and the Templar tank are out of production. Since I quit resin, I want to do vacuum form kits, and I may bring maybe that one back, but I haven't decided. But for the B2, I'm actually going to cut this up and kit bash it and make probably a hover, kind of a hover type drone kit out of it. So I am looking forward to doing that on this daylight savings time day. So I got that. I got the B2 that I'm working on. Continuing painting the David. Working on the CSS Jackson. I am finishing up and done with the ma.k X-Wing, and finally I am done with the Red Devil. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.